transfer portal season is back, only this time it's for college basketball. The Iowa Hawkeyes with some big news breaking on this Wednesday. We'll talk about it in just a second, but first, a reminder to support our sponsors. I always remind you to support our sponsors, but Iowa Floor Covering, they've been with us throughout the Iowa men's basketball season. Be sure to check out their great products. They've got this tough core, click-together, 4.5 millimeter waterproof vinyl flooring. Check it out at iowafloorcovering.com/DIY. Great rate with this self-installation offer. Also, Ascent Nutrition. They've got this new lion's mane mushroom. I'm going to tell you about this product, folks. Check it out. It's at goascentnutrition.com. You can take it with just about anything: juices, smoothies, cereal, yogurt. Their lion's mane mushroom is uniquely cultivated from specific strains that feature a rich combination of both mycelium and fruiting body extracts. Now, this will help support memory, cognitive function. Great stuff. They've got new mushroom products. This is one of them, their lion's mane mushroom. Check it out at goascentnutrition.com and use that code Hawkeyes. Still valid for 15% off your total order from Ascent Nutrition. Of course, our guy down in Mitchellville, Randy Engel with Under the Kitchen. Great artwork. Check out his stuff down at Under the Kitchen. He's got a new website, but you can also find him, as always, on his Facebook. Search Under the Kitchen on Facebook. So the news on this Wednesday, part of the news, we're going to cover part of it in this video, and we'll talk about the rest of it in a video probably tomorrow. Iowa point guard Ahron Ulis has announced that he will enter the transfer portal, and he has in fact entered the portal according to multiple sources. No surprise here, folks. He is kind of an interesting case because Ahron started a lot this year. Iowa, of course, didn't have a ton of depth at point guard, losing Jordan Bohannon, losing Joe Toussaint. Although Tony Perkins played some point early in the season, you've got Asante Bowen, a four-star, coming in. Josh Dix ran some point. But as the season wore on, you could see Fran McCaffery defer to his vets. And Ahron Ulis was a veteran player. It's his third year in the program. Of course, Ahron Ulis, little brother of former Iowa recruit Tyler Ulis, who last I knew is still playing pro basketball, really good guard, ended up going to Kentucky. And I wish the best for Ahron Ulis. Remember, he got suspended early in this season, bounced back, I thought, played really well, and during certain parts of the Big Ten season, struggled with turnovers early in the year. I think back to the Iowa State win. You know, he had, I think, 6 turnovers in that game, tended to over dribble. I thought he improved taking care of the basketball as the year went on. The problem was he just wasn't giving you much on offense. And I think defensively he was okay. I think at times he was really good. I think back to the game at Michigan State. That was, I think, his best performance so far of his career. Really good offensively and really played great defense against Tyson Walker, who's one of the best in the country at his respective position. I think back to that game in East Lansing, and Ahron Ulis was fabulous. I mean, 17 points for Ahron that night to go along with a really strong defensive performance. He hit his only 3-point shot and made 8 of 10 overall from the field in 35 tough minutes. I mean, tough minutes on the road, the Breslin Center. And he had a stretch there towards the end of January, 12 points, 17 points, 16 points, and it looked like we were seeing a new Ahron Ulis. And I don't know what happened as the calendar turned to February. Obviously, Iowa struggled during a stretch there as well. They only lost at Purdue, lost to Northwestern and Wisconsin, but he only hit double figures once after scoring 16 against Rutgers back on the 29th of January. In fact, you saw his minutes start to really dwindle. And during that stretch from January 15th to January 31st, he played 27 minutes, 28 minutes, 35 minutes, 29 minutes, 25 minutes. But then you go down the stretch here, and in fact, the last, 6 games out, including 2 tournament games, one against Ohio State in the Big Ten tournament, one against Auburn in March Madness, didn't hit 20 minutes in any of those final 6 games. Point totals, he wasn't giving you much of anything. In fact, the last 3 games, he gave you 3 points combined. I don't know if it's a result of the lack of minutes so much as just, I just don't know that he's real polished offensively, and you hope that he would develop here, especially at Iowa, given Fran McCaffery's pedigree on the offensive end. You'd hoped he would make some significant improvement on that end. Again, I think he showed flashes. He showed flashes of being able to finish inside, but I didn't think he attacked the rim enough this season. I don't know if he's not capable of doing so. He showed that at times. Again, I go back to the Michigan State game against Rutgers at home, where he attacked and finished. He had a pretty good mid-range game, started making threes at a higher clip, but really struggled from 3 down the stretch. Again, he's not a great three-point shooter. We understand that. So wherever he goes, he's going to have to fit in as a role player. Now, maybe he goes down a level and is a starting point guard, but he was a starter at Iowa. And yet, again, towards the end of the season, he wasn't playing even 20 minutes a game. So you can start somewhere and not play a ton of minutes. And that's kind of what was happening with Ahron Ulis. I mentioned, I believe it was after the Auburn loss, I actually kind of predicted this. I was not shocked at all when I saw this news. I kind of assumed that either Ulis or Desante Bowen, I hope Bowen doesn't leave for the record, but I assumed one of those guys would leave. And I assumed that we would get some more action as well. We did. We'll talk about the departure of Josh Ogundele here in a video coming up. But best wishes to Ahron Ulis. Again, he has been here for 3 years. And I think offensively, that's where the struggles still are occurring. And I wish he could have developed more of an offensive game to where he could help Iowa, because we all know Iowa needs help in the backcourt. I think backcourt play has to improve for Iowa to have a chance in March. And just to put this in perspective, we're talking about making a jump from freshman to sophomore to junior year. He played 17 games as a freshman and averaged just 7 minutes a game, averaged just short of 2 points a game. Heading to your sophomore year, you get 14 minutes a game, 3 points, and 2 assists per game. This year, he gets a bump to 23 minutes, 6 points, 2 assists. I mean, you're just not seeing any real jump, even with the hike in minutes each year. So again, if you were to see the 3-point percentage go way up, that's a different story. It actually went down this year from 33% a year ago to 32% this year. He was okay at the free throw line. He's only giving you a couple assists per game. You need more out of your starting point guard. So I hope he can go somewhere and contribute. But offensively, Iowa needs, I think, a more dynamic backcourt guy who attacks the rim. Perhaps that's Desante Bowen if he can take a jump. I think Brock Harding's going to play this next year. I didn't think so. If you had asked me that a few months ago, I'd have said no way. He's going to redshirt. But man, I wonder. We'll see what happens with Desante Bowen, Tony Perkins. I think Tony Perkins is staying put. Bowen will wait and see. I think Harding may play as a freshman. Don't know if he's physically ready to play. And Iowa may go out and get somebody. They're in on some portal guys right now. So we'll talk about it right here, folks. But again, best wishes to Ahron Ulis. This opens up a scholarship for the Hawkeyes, and we'll see what they use it on. I think you use that scholarship on a backcourt player because that's where one of their big needs currently lies. Appreciate you tuning in for another segment, folks. Please tell me what you think about Ahron Ulis transferring. And of course, tell me in the comments what else do you want me to talk about as we enter the offseason for both the men's and the women's games. Of course, we still got women's hoops coming up on Friday, Sweet 16 trip. We'll have a post-game show with Tania Davis on Friday. But as we enter the offseason and now spring football, we've got some time. Tell me what you want me to talk about on a future video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you next time.